Good morning, my YouTube viewers. It is Palestine here, and I wanted to make you another video. In this other video, what I wanted to talk about was the question is, does the jab cause cancer? And if many of you recall, about 5 years ago, we had a lockdown and we were not allowed to go out until we all took the jab. And I have to call it the jab because I don't want this video to be taken off YouTube. And so we all had a jab, and various companies made the jab. Like Pfizer was one company, and AstraZeneca was another company. We were not allowed to leave lockdown until we all had the jab. Well, the jab was not properly tested before they put it out into the public. And a lot of people didn't want to get the jab, and they were told that they would lose their jobs if they didn't get the jab. So a lot of people got the jab under duress. And I remember watching one YouTube video in particular about this woman in Canada who got the jab because she was working in a school, and the side effect of the jab made her paralyzed. So she had become a quadriplegic. And when she had become a quadriplegic after taking the jab, she was offered euthanasia because in Canada they give euthanasia. So that was just one really disturbing video that I watched concerning the jab. And basically, a lot of women of childbearing age didn't want to get the jab because they didn't know what effect the jab was going to have on their children if they decided to get pregnant. So that was another issue. But these people, many people lost their jobs because they refused to get the jab. And now 4 or 5 years later, it's come out a lot of the problems that people have had with the jab because the jab wasn't properly tested before it was put out into the community, and people were forced to get the jab. They were not allowed to travel if they didn't have the jab. In some cases, they would lose their jobs if they didn't have the jab. And I did get the jab because I was required to get the jab at my job. And I will say that I did the last jab that I got sick, and it did not stop me getting the virus that it was supposed to protect me from. So the question that I have is, does the jab cause cancer? And so basically I've got an article up right here on my tablet, and the article is 1 year risk of cancers associated with the jab, a large population-based cohort study in South Korea. So this study was done in South Korea, and they give you an abstract, and they give you lots of information. But I'm not going to. You've got the. I'll hold this up for you. So if you want to look the article up, you can see the article, because I don't want to say anything that might get this video removed, and I don't want to say anything that might get me in trouble with YouTube. So we're just going to call it the jab. So the risk of overall cancer were assessed using multivariable Cox proportional hazard models, and data were expressed as hazardous ratios, that's HR, and 95% confidence intervals. The hazardous ratio for thyroid cancer was 1.351. For lung cancer, it's 1.533. For breast cancer, it's 1.197. And for prostate cancer, it's 1.687. And cancer significantly increased at 1 year post-vaccination. In terms of vaccine type, cDNA vaccines were associated with the increased risk of thyroid, gastric, colorectal, lung, and breast cancer, and heterogeneous vaccination was related to increased risk of thyroid and breast cancers. Given the observed association between the virus or the jab and cancer incidence by age, sex, and vaccine type, further research is needed to determine whether specific vaccination strategies may be optimal for populations in need of the jab. So what that article was telling you or telling us was that cancer has increased in people who got the jab. And so that research was conducted in South Korea, but I'm sure it would be the same in the US or the UK as well. So that's very concerning indeed, because I got the jab because I was required to get the jab for my job, and I ended up getting cancer. And the question that we have is, if I didn't get the jab, would I have gotten cancer? And the thing that we need to take into consideration is the jab didn't keep me from getting the virus. And I know that because the last jab I got really sick. I was really sick. And then I got the virus off my boyfriend's mother, because she had the virus and she didn't tell. It was at Christmas time, and she didn't tell anybody that she had the virus. So we went over there, and since we don't drive, we were stuck there. And so I was stuck sitting next to her at the table, and she passed the virus on to me. So 1, the jab made me sick, and 2, the jab didn't protect me from the virus. So that's just a really pertinent question that we need to ask, is because now they're still trying to get people to get the jab. I think they're not forcing it on people, but they're trying to get it. And then they send me text messages telling me that, and emails telling me that I can get the jab, and I can also get the flu jab as well. But I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. I don't want my health to get any worse than it already is. So that's it for this video. I asked the question, does the jab cause cancer? And I read a research article that said there's an increase in cancer for people who got the jab. So if you like my video, please like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching my video. And I have some more cancer-related topics to talk about in future videos for you.